Hello, this is Brenda, and I am from Babs Fitness. I am a personal trainer. I have been a trainer for 22 years and a nutritional coach for the last 8 years. I am now working online on Zoom, Skype. I am still going to people's homes or the park. But today I want to discuss sugar. Now, I have a lot of clients who have an addiction to sugar. And the problem that I have with my clients is that many of them do not recognize they have an addiction to sugar. They don't think it's true. They don't think it can happen. They just think it's, I don't know, they like the way it tastes. What they don't realize is that sugar can be very addictive because when you ingest sugar, it turns on the same pleasure systems in your brain as if the same systems that you will use that would light up rather when you do coke, heroin, anything, any kind of drug that gets you high and makes you happy, sugar does the same effect. So recently I fell privy to that as well. It just so happens that last year in Christmas time, I had and I bought this little mini eggs, Cadbury, little mini chocolate eggs, and it tasted really good. Actually, scratch that. It didn't really taste that good, but for whatever reason, I love chocolate, right? So, and I love the shell on top of it. The chocolate was a little bit not as good as it should be, but the shell was tasty. Well, anyway, I started to eat a little bag, and then two little bags, and then three little bags. And it got to the point that I gained 5 pounds from Christmas to now, eating those little candies. So, knowing better, being a trainer for such a long time, being a nutritional coach, you would think that that wouldn't happen to me, but it did. So if it happens to me, who knows better, it happens, imagine how it happens to those who do not know any better. All it took was one little pack of candies, and next thing you know, I was craving two, three, four. Until I looked and I was like, wait a minute, what is this doing here? I had gotten rid of that last year. I had about 65 pounds last year during COVID. Not because I got sick with COVID, but because I was on a strict eating habit pattern, you know? And then just one little piece of candy, and that was enough to derail me for the whole year's work. Well, I didn't gain 60 pounds, right? But the whole year's work, it felt like it was negated, if you know what I mean. So I ended up having to do a reality check with myself and hold myself back and come up with a strategy or, try to figure out why, what happened, and how did I get to this point. So I started doing some research. And let me tell you what I've learned. Sugar is very, very, very addictive. These companies, they hire scientists to make the product so tasty. They learn, they know, they understand how it activates the pleasure centers in your head. And they make these candies and they make these products just so that you can get addicted to it so that you can spend more money, which I get. We all want a product, right? We all want to make money. We all want to sell something. And it just so happens that this product isn't the best because of what happened to me. Me, because I should know better, is the difference, right? I have clients who have the struggle, but I should know better because I have clients who have the struggle, and it still happened. And I can only imagine how many other people who know better, who are in the industry, how it happens to them as well, right? So, what did I learn? I learned that your brain and sugar and obesity, right, I have read an article on the psychology of obesity, and I saw 3 pictures, And I saw the obese brain, the normal brain, and the brain with cocaine. And the cocaine brain and the obese brain, they look the same. The same damage that was done, the same neurons that turn on, that light up in the brain of the cocaine addict, also in the brain of the obesity addict, of the obesity person, of the obese person rather. Now we all know that sugar is the reason why we are obese, right? Yes, we snack. Oh my god, I'm so sorry about that. I have allergies. Yes, we snack. Yes, we eat too much at times, but it's not even eating too much, it's what we're eating that's the worst thing, right? So obesity is sugar is a big something. Oh my goodness, but sugar is one of the things that drives obesity. I'm gonna put it that way. So I'm a little bit nervous because this is something I don't do very often, even though I do plan on uploading a video a week on whatever topic I'm discussing with my client or discussing with my husband or myself or whatever. I'm researching at the moment. So, what did I learn? I learned that the sugar activates the same pleasure systems in my head as if crack, cocaine, alcoholism, all these addictive things, right? So, what happens is you eat something sweet, the pleasure centers get awake, right? They're like, you get full of so much energy because sugar is energy, right? That's what it does to the body. It gives energy to the body. So you get all this sugar, you get all of this energy, and then you crash. And you crash really quickly. Let's just say you eat something now. For instance, bagel is a carbohydrate, which we know your body turns into sugar, right? So let's say a bagel. You eat a bagel at 8 o'clock, and by 9 o'clock, you are down the dumps. Or you like, your energy that you have, the feeling that you have kind of like dwindles down. And what happens is, after it dwindles down, your body needs more energy to continue working. And you start feeling a little bit hazy, maybe foggy, maybe headachy, maybe a little bit down, maybe depressed, or whatever reason it is. So you know that if you go back and eat that candy, or you eat that sweet stuff, or you eat the high glycemic carbohydrate, you know that you're gonna get that same feeling back, right? You're gonna get that high again. You're gonna start feeling happy. You're gonna start feeling more productive. You're gonna start feeling more energetic. But you eat one piece at the beginning and you get all these feelings. The second, third, fourth, and fifth time, because you're gonna go back again to continue feeling that way, you have to get two pieces. It's just like a drug. It's just like a drug. You know, a drug is, okay, angel dust or ecstasy. Ecstasy, but you take it, you feel all of this, and then you drop. Either you get depressed, you feel tired or whatever, all kinds of negative feelings. But you don't want that. No one wants that. So you go back again and you get two. And then you go again and you get three. And next thing you know, that's not enough. So you have to get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You get the picture. And that was what happened to me. So from eating one little candy, it turned up to, even though I told myself I'm not gonna eat that candy, but the next day I was right back at the Walgreens buying myself another little pack. And then you have this conversation with yourself where you say, you know, I'm not gonna do this today. I'm just gonna do it. I'm not gonna do this. This will be my last piece of candy. I'm not eating anything tomorrow. Or in my case, I was like, this is a seasonal candy. It'll go away. It will go away because it'll go away. Christmas will be gone. But then comes Easter, the candy comes right back again. It's like never ending, people, never ending. So, in order for me to make changes, I have to re-educate myself. And that's what I did. I did research. I saw what it does to get to the brain. I know what it does to the body. I know the inflammation that it causes inside. And I know that chronic inflammation gives diseases later on. right? When you get an injury in your, like in my case, when you get an injury in your knee, I have osteoarthritis in my knee. When you get an injury and get a knee, it gets swollen, right? And that's the bioprotective mechanism to keep the limb safe from further injury. Because if you don't feel pain, you'll continue doing whatever it is that is making the problem happen in the first place, right? So you get the information, and it's a normal thing, and it's a good thing because it stops you from doing further damage. But at the same time, it's a good thing. It protects the site so well that it doesn't let much nutrients, in this case, nutrients on the cells in the blood, right, to fix the affected area. But you see it, you know it, you understand it, you ice it, you lift it up, you do whatever you have to do to bring the inflammation down so that that limb, the affected area, can get repaired with the nutrients that are in the blood. But just imagine having chronic inflammation within the body. You can't see it. You may feel a little sick, you may feel a little tired, but all you do is you eat some more junk, right? Because that'll make your energies go up again. But imagine if you could see the chronic inflammation that you have when you eat too much carbohydrates or too much, in my case, was the candy. Now, FYI, a piece of candy and a cup of pasta, when they come into the mouth, the saliva, I'm not going to get into the whole science of the saliva that is all sweet. The saliva goes in, and in order for you to process that food, carbohydrates get processed in the mouth. Once you take a bite of something that's sweet, a carb, a high a high glycemic carb, even a low glycemic carb, what happens is once the amylase is what it's called, I believe, it's the sugar in your saliva that breaks it down so you could digest it. So the body doesn't know the difference between a chocolate candy and a bagel. It processes the same way. So when it processes the candy or the sugar or the carb, your body gets flooded with it. Now, if it does it slowly, it's fine. But it doesn't do it slowly. It doesn't. It just goes really quick. So the insulin goes crazy trying to take the sugars and take it to work muscles. It's just overflooded. It's just too much, which is why you get insulin resistant type 2 diabetes. Or I just found out that in the brain, some people are dubbing it Alzheimer's, dementia, mostly Alzheimer's, as diabetes type 3. It's a controversial statement, it's a controversial name. And the reason they came up with this is because when they have biopsy brains, and autopsies, they see the same impairment in the brain as they do in the rest of the body when you have diabetes. So understand me, sugar is so bad for you. Not only does it ruin the body with chronic inflammation, which in the future leads to cancer, diabetes, heart disease, all these crazy things, but it also attacks the brain, people. It could make you lose cognitive function. It could make you forgetful. It could make you, it depresses you. It just does so much damage. And I just want to share. I want you guys to understand how bad it is to eat something that's high in sugar. Okay? And I'm gonna give you some things that I have been doing to stop the sugar addiction. Now, I'm the kind of person that everything has to be done really quickly, right? I'm an extremist by nature, let's just say. I cannot do things little bit by little bit by little bit because it just doesn't work with me. With me, it has to be clean cut, totally done. And yes, I'm gonna feel a little down at the beginning. And yes, my brain is gonna be a little foggy. And yes, I may feel a little sad. But it's such a small amount of time that happens because eventually your body gets rid of it, and then you stop feeling get that way, and then your energy levels go up, and you start eating the proper foods, or you start, working out more. It just goes away. It's a little bit of time of discomfort. That's all. It's just a little tiny time, just a little tiny bit. All you have to do is what I'm doing. It's just let it go. Now, some people need to do it slower, and that's okay. But just start doing it. Just start taking less. You know, swap out the soda for a salsa. Even though I heard from dentists that salsa may be bad for the teeth, I don't know. But start with salsa, and or start with a water with a little lemon or some peppermint sprigs. The little plant peppermint, and it's something that's going to satiate you without giving you, without being soda, right? So that's one thing to do. Another thing would be if you do make cakes, if you do make big products, substitute the sugar with unsweetened applesauce. That's it. As a matter of fact, there's an ice cream there that's completely made with avocado. I haven't eaten it yet, but one of my clients swears it's delicious. So substitution. Even when you're cooking, instead of using brown sugar, you can use nutmeg, cinnamon. All these things are not going to give you the same spike that the sugar gives you. And that's, I understand sugar's tasty. I get it. I personally don't like bagels, but I like bread, and I understand. Okay. You can also do another tidbit. I'm gonna give you one. Another thing that you can also do is you can add some sort of fat or protein to the carb. And this is why dietitians and nutritionists tell you, well, if you're gonna snack on an apple or a banana, snack with an apple or banana with a little bit of peanut butter. Because the fat and the protein in peanut butter slows the absorption down in your body, so you won't get that inflammation like that. You won't get that high so quickly, and then you drop. That really fast high and then that really fast drop. So, I hope I helped you a little bit today with my brand brewing. And if you have any questions, please text me or send me a DM, whatever. Make a comment there. It's fine. I don't care. But just, I'm in the struggle. I get it. Sugar is addictive, and a lot of products have sugar. A lot of, products have hidden sugar. For goodness sakes, I'm not even gonna mention names, but some some spaghetti sauces have sugar. Well, we already know ketchup is just pure sugar, right? You'd be surprised how many meals, how much food has sugar in it. Brown sugar, any kind of sugar. And they do it so that we can buy it. They do it because they know that works in with our brain, it makes us happy. But it's a fake happiness, guys. Trust me, I am not happy that I gained 5 pounds. So even eating the candy doesn't really make me happy. The next day I was sweating like, oh my God, I'm not gonna eat it today. The candy, and I will eat it again. And then you get depressed, you're eating it too. So it's like totally a catch-22. It's just not good for anyone. I'm gonna spend this whole month speaking about sugar because I have decided to do a sugar challenge. And today's day 26. I have 26 days left because I'm counting from 30 down. So I started a 30-day no sugar challenge, and I still have 26 days left. So I'm at the beginning of the struggle, and the reason I did the challenge is because I need to do things extreme wise, right? And I need something to push me forward, and the challenge challenges my brain and makes me want to do it, honestly speaking. But I'm gonna take this whole month to educate myself much more on sugar and hopefully educate you. So that way, when the 30 days are up and I feel like grabbing that piece of whatever, I will know better. Because intellectually, I will know exactly what it does get to the body.